How are you? Good, yeah. How about you? I'm hanging in there. Right. Are there people you're signing up with?
Oh, are you sure about that?
Yeah. Have fun.
They got quiet all of a sudden.
Anticipation.
What time is it? Is it that time? It's that time.
It's time to get ill.
It's that time. It is March 26th. Anybody know the significance of March 26th? Opening day of baseball. That's a good one. Although there was a game yesterday, right? No, the significance is 28 days till I leave for Hawaii. All right, time for on-time drawing. 9 days in Hawaii, 4 rounds of golf.
I can't wait. We're all going, right? You bought
Oh, I thought you couldn't wait for me to leave.
Well, that too.
All right. We're also collecting cards today because Pulte is going to be doing a drawing as well. All right, number 9. Who's number 9? Michelle. Yay! Congratulations. Got a shirt and other stuff.
Thank you.
Right. Special.
The bag is the best part.
So I didn't have all of your names up here, but we have a crew from Pulte today. They brought the bagels that you're enjoying. So come on up. If you all didn't know, Pulte's my favorite builder.
Mine too. Yeah, we're biased, but ours too.
Hey, really quick, we got only a couple of minutes. My name is Dwayne. I just wanted to say really quick, I wanted to just mention my community, Cordora. We just grand opened last Saturday. I left some flyer. It's so new. I forgot the name, but it's brand new in Southwest. It's on Rainbow. The models are in Rainbow. We're building in the Southwest.
Rainbow what?
Rainbow, Blue Diamond, and Winter.
Killer location.
Yeah.
All right. My name's Melissa. My partner is Michaela right here. My neighbor here is Olivia. We'll get to John in a minute. We are the first salespeople to go out to our brand new master plan community called Aries. Aries is adjacent to Cadence. It is across from the entrance of Lake Las Vegas. We are the master developer. So what does that mean? We have 3,000, almost 3,000 home sites. We will go all the way from multifamily to small single stories, big single stories, Del Webb properties by the time this is finished. There are scheduled 16 communities right now. Right now it's just Pulte Homes. We're the master developer. We will have about 16 communities, several parks, over 20 acres of parks, over 19 miles of walking corridor, trail corridor throughout. So it's going to be an amazing product. The land is terraced there up into the, I wouldn't say side of the mountain, but it's so elevated. There's so many views from all of the communities. It's truly a wonder how they blasted this out of the mountain and carved it out. It's going to be an amazing product. The first opening is going to be our community, Desert Mesa. I'm going to let Michaela tell you guys about that one.
So Desert Mesa is going to be our first community opening up in Aries. Melissa and I will both be there. Grand opening is going to be April 18th. It'll be an all one-story community, 3 different floor plans, 1,500 to 1,700 square feet homes. Targeted buyer will be entry-level price point. We're going to have first-time home buyers, most likely empty nesters, retirees, and everything in between. It's a really cool product sitting on beautiful land. We're super excited about it. We'd love for you guys to all come out here and celebrate with us on the 18th. If you'd like to stay in touch with us or reach out for more details as we roll out pricing and continue to prepare for grand opening, we'd love to share that information with you guys.
SIDs?
There will be lid. Yep.
So I'm thinking
Lot sizes will be varying depending on, so you're gonna have like anywhere from 13 to 20 foot setbacks on our first series, and then we're gonna have much larger lots as we get to the end.
Association, Ryan? Association.
Association, $75 is what we're targeted at right now. And then I'll go over to Olivia.
I'm also going to be at Aries. My community is a 2-story entry level as well, from 2,100 up to right under 2,500 square foot, 3 bedrooms to 5 bedrooms. They're going to be about 98 homes in that community as well. And just like with Michelle, it's going to be the amenities and everything that are going to be there. Lids, as she mentioned, and HOAs, we're still getting all that information on that.
How many homes is that full building?
For the completion of everything, right under
3,000.
3,000. For my community itself, is 96.
Our community 75.
But this is with the entire whole master plan.
Yes.
Yes.
Our opening is, theirs is on the 18th, mine's slated to be the weekend after, on the 25th.
If you guys dropped a business card in there, we're going to hit you with a little thank you email with the follow-up, so you have our contact information. And you'll be able to reach back and open lines of communication for your questions. And that will also give us your information to let you know when pricing comes out, when any incentives and specials come out, all those things.
Yeah. And yeah, pricing should roll out in the next few weeks, hopefully. And as soon as we have that, we'll definitely send that out up to share.
And I was mentioning really quick, I was mentioning to Mark earlier, Aries is a big deal.
Huge deal.
I believe you guys might be the first brokers that they even came. This is a small team because we have a lot of communities that are opening up, so it's a big deal. Realty One Group, I say you guys should reach out to their teams, get all the information so you guys can be one of the first, right? So it's going to be, hopefully it's affordable, right? Everyone's asking for under 500,000. I don't want to commit to it, but it should be there.
We're hoping.
Yeah, we're hoping.
We
Multi-level.
should have quick move-ins that can close as early as we're hoping August 1st. Homes complete, so they're already building the homes out there, so you don't have to wait.
And shorter build times too. We have like 5 to 6 month build times on our first 2 communities, so that'll be really nice as well.
I would never do that. All right, guys. They're going to be hanging around. If you get your business cards, they can get your information to you sooner, quicker.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a quick raffle?
Whose card is this chip? I don't like that. That's
Isn't
really
that fun?
I don't know how.
Yes.
Here,
And Olivia's
here,
gonna
we'll
have-
just use my card for hers.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
Go ahead and let Mark pick it.
Okay. Close your
So
eyes,
they can
Mark.
hate him or love him.
I don't like that one. You don't like that one?
That's karma.
Is it him? Congratulations. Nice catch.
And you keep the check, right?
You guys are contact infos on these, okay?
Yeah.
Yes, any questions, reach out.
Thanks guys for
Right,
having
thank
us.
you.
Thank you
Thank you.
guys. Central Park, I love it.
It was a good catch, but it was a great throw. All right, Stacia.
Good morning.
Good morning. What you got for us?
Oh, well, before I give you what I really have, just a reminder,
Everybody.
I give you these little 10 cards. The very bottom line highlights our new construction coverage. So, if there's closing costs that, the builder's contributing something and you're hoping to use up those funds, we are a bona fide closing cost, and this would start on day 1 of year 2 and go for 4 years. So that pricing is a 4-year coverage. That's not per year. That's the total for 4 years. So just to keep in mind, it's also something as a good reach out because if they're not in a transaction, there's a 30-day wait. So if you've sold new construction for the last 11 months or 10 and a half, and you want to reach out to your network of people that you sold to and say, hey, we've been trying to reach you about your extended home warranty coverage. You know, I have a flyer, so you can text me or email me my information on this. I'll happily send you that flyer that you can forward on to your clients because it just is a good touch point, if nothing else. Even if they don't order it, it's a great way to just stay in touch with them and say, hey, I'm thinking of you, and maybe you want to save some money on repairs or replacements. So, but that's not what I was actually going to say today, but it just kind of flowed really well for that. So I just want to remind everybody that we have seller's coverage. So on your listings, seller's coverage doesn't have to cost you a penny, and it protects the electrical, the plumbing, the built-in appliances, the water heater. It's $70 option to add HVAC. But up to $1,500, we're the only home warranty company that in our seller's coverage, if you add that limited HVAC, includes refrigerant. So it can be something that's just a really great value add for your listings. And if it turns into a paid buyer's policy, you know, at closing, we have a history on it. So if something fails right after they move in, like the AC, because nobody's shutting it down or turning it down while they're moving out and in, and if that system is working a little harder, we're less likely to deny that claim in an early life kind of scenario because we have a history on it and it didn't fail during the listing, or it did and we fixed it and we know that maybe there's something that, you know, further failed on that. So start the process with seller's coverage, and then remember that the life of a claim is someone calls it in, and we assign it to somebody to dispatch, and somebody has to come out to diagnose it. It's a diagnosis. It's not a guarantee for repair in that moment, right? I mean, how can we fix something if we don't know what's broken? So if it's a small repair, that's not a big deal. You know, it oftentimes can be fixed in that moment. Let's say it's a compressor on an AC. That could take a little longer because we don't just magically have a storage throughout the United States that has every possible compressor for every possible HVAC system in the world. So, I know, right?
Why not?
Wouldn't that be lovely? That's like when people want a matching set of 12-year-old champagne-colored washers and dryers. We just don't. We are not the storage facility, and we are not the manufacturing facility. So, setting the right expectation for your clients is just a really big deal. The call, the dispatch, the diagnosis. They pay a trade call fee to be diagnosed, just like you pay a copay to go to the doctor and figure out what's wrong. If they tell you nothing's wrong or it's a virus and you just have to deal with it, you don't get your copay back. You know, you utilize someone's expertise and time to diagnose that. And then there could be something that needs to be ordered. So I'm always happy. Please remember to talk to your clients before they ever choose. Even if they don't choose us, having set the right expectation helps you later when there is a claim and it's maybe going into day 2 or day 3 and they don't have a repair yet, that they're not upset with you because we've already set that expectation. So you are working with someone that you like, trust, or have confidence in. I'd love the opportunity to earn your business or continue with your business if you do. Thank you.
A food truck out there today from 11 to 1:30, slinging tacos. Blood drive next week, next Monday the 30th, right here in this room. There's a QR code to register if you like.
Yes, you are.
100 Days to Greatness. So this is a Brian Buffini program. And Brian Buffini is great. I've taught some of his programs before, and we're going to have somebody else teach this one. But I'm stepping in. I'm taking over. So I'm going to be teaching it, and it's starting May 14th. So I got to wait until after I come back from. Did I tell you I'm going to Hawaii?
Oh my goodness.
Maui.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully it's dried out by then.
I was gonna say, enjoy the weather.
Yeah. So, May 14th, check it out. Somewhere in here it says, yeah, close an average of 7 transactions while you're in this program. Even if you only do half of that, you do 3 or 4 transactions in that 100 days. That's well worth the investment of $3.99 is what it cost. We don't make a penny off that. That goes all to Brian Buffetti, but I'm a big believer. And so, have you registered yet?
I will.
All right.
You
May-
good?
May 14th. All right. So that's coming up in May. Market stats, pretty much hanging the same. We're not going to talk about it, but we'll provide those stats for you in the newsletter. John's not here, but Mark is. Does everybody know Mark?
I don't think I know.
So Mark is a loan officer with Epic, and he's splitting his time between Arizona and here, so he's going to spend, back and forth a lot.
Back and forth,
A
yes.
lot of frequent flyer miles.
So now I'm covering 3 offices. I have this one, Green Valley, and my home in Gilbert, Arizona.
But watch this. What's your favorite office?
This office. That was easy question. So he gave me 2 minutes, so I'll try to do it in a minute and 45.
All right.
Okay. So licensed real estate agent for over 16 years, also a loan officer, been in the industry for a very long time, seen lots of transactions. Okay. So if you guys have questions, we're always here to help. The biggest thing on everybody's mind right now is rates, right? What are rates doing? The last week and a half to 2 weeks, we've taken a beating. Everything that we have gained, we lost plus some. Plus some. So, and until this little conflict settles down, hopefully this weekend it does, we start seeing some consistency. It's just been a roller coaster. So, the good with the bad. The bad is rates are high. The good is try to get your buyers into a house now, because in Arizona, when the rates hit, FHA were just a tad bit over 5. Conventional were anywhere from 5.5 to 5.65. We saw a huge uptick in transactions, and we actually saw multiple offers for that little week window that we had. So I have a feeling it's going to be the same here, because your guys' market is almost the same as ours. So with that said, I don't know if you all know, but we have a program called Rate Revamp, where we will refi your clients for free for the next 5 years. If it needs to be longer, we can go longer. I say free, but it's a minimal cost because you get your impound count back after we close, so it's basically a wash. So I don't have a lot of time to go into a lot of that detail, but just know, get your clients under contract. The rates will come back down. We can refi them. There's just 2 stipulations. One, they have to make a minimum of 4 payments, so it's usually about 6 months. And then the other is that the rate moves about a 0.5 point down. Okay, then we can get that done for them to make it worthwhile. So, love to talk to you guys. I'll hang out for a little bit after the meeting, but we're here to help you guys, okay? Thank you so much.
So I'm multitasking here. I'm signing checks, so hopefully for one of you. But so, come on up here. Come on. Most of you know that this is my sister.
Do we look
So,
alike?
much younger.
No, you're
But she hasn't had 5 wives.
So, Rena has been an agent in Utah for going on 14 years now, right?
Yep.
And she's actually one of the top agents in her company. She does an amazing job. Has a team of
5.
Has a team of 5 agents. So, first of all, if any of you know anyone that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in Utah, so she referred one client, 2 transactions to Rena.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I would never refer to anyone else in Utah.
Yeah.
She's amazing.
I think she is too. So we're going to be talking about open houses. Who here has done an open house? All right. Who here? I'm probably we haven't prepared anything together. So we're going to step on each other's toes.
I'm being stepped on.
Who thinks that open houses suck?
Some days.
It's not the open house, it's the signs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, let me tell you a quick little story. So when I first came to this office, there was an agent that wanted to be coached. He's not here.
Speak freely.
So I brought him in, and we started talking, and he says, Mark, I'm just not doing the same amount of business I used to do. I said, all right, Angel. Did I say that?
Oops, gave him up.
And
He's still not
I
doing
drove
it.
that bus right over him, didn't I?
Yeah.
I said, so what did you used to do to get business? And he said, open houses. I said, great. Do more open houses. I'm a great coach, you know? He's like, oh, but there's so much work.
What?
Yeah. So here's the thing. Open houses can be a lot of work. They really can. So did I step on toes?
Yes, but that's
All right,
okay.
Good. Here.
Give me the clicker.
You take that while I sign checks.
Okay.
We're gonna have to
Let's
separate them.
do that. So if I'm going. Okay. We're going to be talking about open houses that have yield. How to do that. So we're going to just start out, and I'm going to ask you to be very candid today. Let's be real. Let's be transparent, so we can learn how to do this. We're going to start with a vote. Who here, by show of hands, think open houses work? Good. And let's be real. Who thinks open houses don't work? One honest person in the room. Good job. Okay, does anyone like do cartwheels down the hall? Whee! I get to do an open house this weekend. Jeff, you do. Okay, one person.
Jeff literally dances in front of the house.
Yeah, he does. That's for closing. The jump is for closing.
So, I want to ask you a question. But first, we're going to go over what we're going to cover today. The focus and goal of every open house. We're going to talk about that. How to identify buyers from sellers that come into your open house. How to market your open house so you can get more bodies in, because that's the name of the game. Bless you. Again. How to build your pipeline using open houses. Scripts that work. Okay? And a proven process that brings results. That's what we're going to cover today. And how to stop wasting Saturdays sitting on open houses, and how to actually walk away with yield from the open houses that you host. Okay? With that, if we can accomplish that today, would that be worth your while?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so the question is, how can you outsell 99% of all the other agents out there? Would you like to know that today? Okay. Before I get there, I'm going to tell you a backstory on a guy that I met. Some of you might know the name. If you do, if you don't, it doesn't matter. His name's Ben Kinney. Anyone heard of that name? So a couple people shaking their heads. Well, I want to give you a little bit of backstory on Ben Kinney, because when I met him, he taught me something very essential to growing my business. But to understand Ben, you have to understand where he started. He grew up in abject poverty. He grew up in rural Washington State, and Mom and Dad got a divorce, and Mom took his sister, and Dad took him, Ben. And they were so poor, they lived in this house. Dad cut the couch in half. And Dad slept on one half of the couch, and Ben slept on the other part of the couch. He, let's see, the mom ended up tragically, and it's awful that this is part of the story. The mom died from a heroin overdose. They didn't even have a bathroom in their house. There was an outhouse out back, and nobody in their family had ever even graduated high school. I feel like these two are.
I know, I hate that vote.
Yeah, we didn't even take that out. Anyway, and so Ben's claim to fame was he graduated from high school, and he ended up with this wonderful job, not being a realtor. He ended up being the cable guy. Remember back in the day when the cable guy would come to your house and install cable? That was his job. And he was a success in that family. And one day, he came to a woman's house who happened to be a realtor. And she took a liking to this kid, Ben, and had him read a book about real estate. He became a real estate agent. The year I met him, I was fortunate to be in a small room with him, and he was on track that year to earn $10 million in gross commission that year. That's a guy you want to learn from, right? So I felt very privileged. And I'm going to quote him right now when he talked about how the average agent can outsell 99% of all other agents across the nation if they hosted an open houses 5 days a week. And he goes on to say most agents who think that open houses don't work, we got one honest person, have never really worked them. He goes on to say they might have shown up at an open house, but haven't really worked them. So I'm going to give you a demonstration. Mark, give me a chair and bring it up here. Let's see. Leanne, I need you up here. So I know you're on my naughty list right now.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding. So go stand next to Mark. I'm going to pretend for a minute. I need a prop. Anyone got a phone on there? My phone. Oh, thank you. Okay. So we're going to pretend that these two people are coming to my open house, and I'm the agent sitting on the open house. And here's the operative word, sitting. Okay? So this comes from a true story. You can all see me sitting, right? Walk into my open house, and I will demonstrate an experience that I had many years ago when I was a brand new agent of an agent sitting on an open house. Okay, so come into my open house. Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hello.
Good. Yeah, help yourself around.
I don't like the color in the living room.
Okay,
I
stop.
don't like the agent.
Guys, you guys are done.
Thank you.
Good job. You got it in.
Wow.
So here's the thing.
An actor.
If that is how an agent, and this wasn't the first experience that I had as an agent going to an open house and finding an agent sitting on the open house. Yeah, help yourself. Take a look around. And it won't be my last. There's a lot of those kinds of agents out there. And hopefully when you walk out, that's not you, right? Because to have a different result, you've got to do something differently, right? And so here we're going to talk about what to do to avoid the results, because I'm sure that agent got 0 results that day. But he spent his whole day schlepping signs. I shouldn't say signs. There was one sign out in front of this guy's house. In fact, we couldn't even find it, right? And so if you're going to be spending your Saturdays, Sundays, whatever day you're hosting an open house, you might as well make it work.
And he's probably one of those agents that went back to the office and said, open houses suck. They don't work.
Yeah, they don't work. They don't work unless you work them.
Yep.
So this is, again, quoting Ben Kinney, and again, I want to learn from a guy doing 10 million in GCI. He talks about going in with focus and purpose to every open house he works. So his focus is, how do I get 1 or 2 appointments for the week from the people that come to my open house? Because my week is always around getting that buyer or seller listing consultation and building my pipeline.
Let me ask you all this. If you got 1 or 2 appointments a week, would that change your business? Would it change your life?
Yeah.
Good, very well. Just one appointment a week.
Absolutely. And we'll give some case studies later about results that can come from hosting open houses. So you've got to, number one, you've got to go in with focus. You're not there to sit on an open house. You're there to get an appointment, okay? And I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit. But if you don't believe me, and you don't believe Mark, and you don't believe Ben Kinney, who built his business doing this, let's look at some interesting stats. NAR, National Association of Realtors, has an information that says 45% of all buyers use an open house or open houses as a source of information during their search. And here's where it gets kind of interesting, because less than 1% of the people that attend an open house actually buy that house. So you're thinking like, well, that seems a little contradictory. Nobody's buying the open house they go to. But we're going to talk about the 6-month rule. So buyers start their search and their investigation and looking at the market 6 months before they're actually going to sell and pull the trigger. So where do you want to be? Hello?
At the beginning of that 6 months.
You want to be where the buyers are, right? I mean, if you could put me in a room of potential buyers who haven't hired a real estate agent yet and who are going to be buying in the next 6 months, I want to be there, right? And I want to get into a relationship with those people way ahead of the fact and the timeline of them hiring someone.
You know, we all want things now. We want those buyers that want to buy right now. But we're going to be in business 6 months from now, 12 months from now. So it's all about, nurturing the relationships. I say this all the time. The fortune is in the follow-up.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. If you don't have a rigorous follow-up game, you're going to meet a lot of people, you're going to host open houses, you're going to have great conversations, and guess what? In 6 months, you're not going to have a lot in your pipeline. I'm working with a guy right now. In fact, one of my showing assistants on my team is showing him tonight while I'm here in Vegas. I'm going to, where are we going, Scott? The Mad Apple. Anyone been there? But anyway. And she's showing him. I met him over a year ago and did a rigorous follow-up plan with him and nurtured that relationship. And now he's finally pulling the trigger to look at a home.
Yeah, and it's more important now than it ever has been. Back a few years ago, business was just falling out of the trees, and we got that now business a lot. Now that follow-up, that nurturing is more important than it ever has been.
Totally, absolutely. So we're going to talk about the purpose of an open house. And you might think, well, it's getting a buyer-seller appointment. That's true. The first and number one purpose, if it's your listing, of course, is to sell that house, right? To expose it to as many people so I could shine in the eyes of my seller and possibly find a buyer potential, okay? So if it's not your listing, and if you're hosting an open house for Jeff or for Leanne or for anyone else in this room, my goal is I'm going to make her look like the hero because we're doing an open house. But I want to find a buyer-seller appointment, right? So we're going to expose the house. That's kind of a duh. Get a buyer appointment, yes. Get a seller appointment, yes. And let me just pause there for a second. It used to annoy me when the nosy neighbors would come to an open house. I'm like, oh man, I'm wasting my time here. Are you kidding me? They just want to see what the bedroom looks like, right? And that's not true. Why are they nosy?
They're checking the market.
They're checking the market. Why?
Because they might want to sell.
They might want to sell. Those nosy neighbors can be a gold mine for you. So now I treat them like gold. And so you want to go in and get an appointment. That's, again, Ben Kinney, 1 or 2 appointments for the week. And I'm going to give you a fourth purpose for hosting an open house. And this is probably the one that has the highest potential to bring you more yield long term. Okay? And that is to build your database, which in turn will help you build your pipeline. Okay? Even if no one shows up to your open house, and has anyone ever held an open house where nobody came through? Man, that sucks. Are you kidding me? I just slept 20 signs and balloons and sat here with my cookies and water, and nobody came. But I'm going to tell you a way that even if no one shows up, you can still have yield. Okay, would that be helpful to you? Awesome. So the standard in real estate is to build your database 5 to 10 people a week. If you you should always be adding new people in your database, so you have more people to talk to contact and nurture and possible opportunities, right? Because if you just start real estate with 25, 50, 100 people, I don't know how many you have in your database, and you don't grow that, you're not going to grow your business. You've got to constantly be nurturing, you've got to be weeding, plucking those ones out that are go nowhere opportunities and adding new ones in. So if we talk about building your database 5 to 10 people a week, would it be helpful for you to find an easy way to do that? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to make you a guarantee. You know they say nothing in life is guaranteed, right? Sorry, am I blocking you? Okay. But I'm going to make you a guarantee I can actually stand by. Even if no one shows up to your database or to your open house, I will guarantee that you can add 5 to 10 people to your database every single week. Would that be helpful to their business?
Absolutely.
Okay.
They're all thinking, how are you going to do that if no one shows up to the
Yeah.
open house?
Okay.
It's
well,
all about activities.
So why is this important?
Because your time, you gave your time, you give away the whole day, and so you get something productive out of it.
Yeah, okay. But I don't want to just like feel productive and feel like I talk to people.
I video it and then put it out there.
Okay, so exposure.
Let's talk about your database for just a minute here. So your database is the foundation of your business. At least 50% of your business should come from your database. But think of the 10% rule on your database. 10% rule simply says that if you have 200 people in your database, you should be able to get 20 transactions over the course of the year out of that database. Now, how it works is half of those, like 10, are people within your database doing business with you. The other 10 are referred from people that are doing business from the database. So think of that. That is why you want to grow your database, because the more you have in there, the more business that you can get out of it. It doesn't happen by accident.
It doesn't happen by accident.
Yes. You've got to nurture that.
So we're going to talk about that deeper, but let's look at the yield, because that 10%, now and a lot of people, a lot of very successful coaches that have done it at a high level like Ben Kinney will say it's 20%, but we agree that to be more conservative, 10% should be like putting money in a bank account. You know, if you had a long-term CD and if the rates continue to climb, they won't, tell me. But if we did get 10% yield on a CD, you put $100,000 in and you get what out in a year? Okay? So you should be able to, in fact, I don't even call my database a database. You know what I call it? A data bank. So let's look at the potential yield. Potential yield. And Ben Kinney talks about doing open houses 5 days a week. I don't think anyone in this room is, well, maybe I shouldn't marginalize that. If you do, great. But let's just say, to be conservative, you do 1 a week. And you're not going to do one on Christmas, and you're not going to do one on Thanksgiving. You're going to get sick, or you're going to go on a vacation. So if we can all agree that you can get 10 contacts in from an open house, I'm going to show you how, and do 47 weeks, just 1 a week and take some weeks off, right? That's 470 new people in your database. And at a 5% return, I'm going to be super conservative with these numbers. That's 24 transactions. Who would be happy with 24 transactions closed over the next 12 months, 18 months?
And that's
right?
additional transactions.
Yeah, there you go.
And this is how you grow your business over time because you get referral business, you get repeat business, you get ongoing opportunities. And I'm just using, again, a conservative number of $12,000 of GCI. Okay, that's 282 grand. Would anyone be okay? It's only 282 grand, but okay. So, and even if we cut that in half,
But that means my taxes will go up.
Good
oh,
problem to
that's a
have.
happy problem to have, right? So even if we cut that in half, we're still looking at 144 grand and 12 transactions, and that's just holding one open house a week. Okay? So, like Mark said, you can't just go adding people in your database. I didn't say it exactly like this, but you can't just go adding people in your database and then
We
go
read
have.
each other's minds though.
We do. It's scary. And then go have a sandwich and expect results. You've got to consistently be contacting the people that you have. That's eat a sandwich. So that means contact. Okay? That means drip. That's through emails, through mail, through, all the different ways to drip on people. Postcards and pop-bys. Adding value to these people that you add into your database. Follow-up, we talked about it multiple times, and this will not work, nor will really any way of getting people in your database work if you don't follow up. Even if it's your, cousin Eddie, and, he told you he's going to buy a house in 6 months, and you don't ever follow up. Guess what? Everyone knows an agent, or 5 or 10, right? And so if you don't follow up with cousin Eddie, someone else might scoop that up. Okay? Invite to events if you do that. Be a resource. And this is where I go back to contact. When you're talking to someone, if you're doing most of the talking, you're doing it wrong. Ask powerful questions to get information on what's going on in their life. Not just real estate, but what's going on in their life. As an example, I just talked to a client of mine that I sold a couple of houses to, and he told me he was thinking about leaving the industry he was in and going and finding a different job. And I listened, take note, I put it in my CRM, and then I connected him with somebody else that might be looking for someone who has his skills. So pay attention to what people say and be a resource. If you can connect them to something that they're looking for or information that would be useful or helpful to them in their life or their business or anything, that's how you get that yield. If you put them in and don't do this, you're going to have the same kind of outcome that you've always been getting.
And when you meet with these people, don't come across with what I call commission breath.
Right.
You only want to talk to them because you're hoping to get a commission as a result of meeting them. You need to connect with them. Don't even bring up real estate. Guaranteed they'll bring it up. But, you ask they say you have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so you can listen twice as much as you talk. Ask questions. Ask questions about them. Use the Ford method. Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. That's
frog.
Frog. Is that another one?
Family, recreation, occupation, and goals.
Oh, okay.
Ford.
Haven't heard that one before.
I like it.
So yeah, don't come across with commission press. You want to connect with them, and you can only do that by asking questions and listening and talking to them and building a relationship.
So one of my favorite leaders in Hawaii, I love when he says this because he's a really big Hawaiian dude, and he says it with power. And he says, you've got to prepare to win. You've got to prepare to win. And that's true in life. That's true in business. And guess what? It's also true for open houses. So we're going to talk about how to prepare to win while doing an open house. Walk through the open house. If it's her listing and I've never been there, see if I can get permission to walk through the listing first or get there early if the clients are okay with that so you know everything about the property. Drive the neighborhood. So I took a listing, and this is walking the neighborhood. I took a listing in a town in Utah, and I walked the neighborhood, and there was this hidden park. I wouldn't have been able to see it while driving. And it was covered pavilion and shaded trees. It was really a cool spot for kids to throw a ball or families to have a picnic. So know the neighborhood, study the comps, know thy scripts on how to, and we'll talk about that in just a second, but know what you're going to say, know how you're going to say it, and you're going to go in with purpose. The words that you say when someone comes in, they're there for a very short period of time, and you have a small period of time to get into a conversation that might result in a relationship and then giving you their information so you can drip on them later. Market it, sign strategy, have your kit ready, and follow a proven process.
So here's the thing with all of that. Sure, you can do an open house, identify an open house on Thursday, and go and put out 6 signs on Saturday and have the open house. Sure, you can do that. And you may or may not have success doing that. There is a lot more that goes into an open house, a lot of preparation that goes into an open house. So that's what we're going to talk about more.
Yeah, and this is a really important point to make, and I hope you remember this, is that when people come to your open house and you've studied the comps, you've walked and driven the neighborhood, and you know that neighborhood, and I go in, I say, well, Leanne, like the house down the street is listed at $475 and yours is at $500, and she's deer in the headlights.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Okay, that's not going to fare well.
Yeah.
But if she goes, oh yeah, I know that house, and actually that house doesn't have the bonus room, and it's a little bit more dated, this one's upgraded, and so on. Here's what I want you to remember: whether the people that come to your open house know it or not, they're interviewing you. They are absolutely interviewing you, because I'm going to leave her open house and go to his open house and her open house, and then I'm going to go to my son's soccer game, and then I'm going to go to Home Depot, and then I'm going to go to, you're like out of sight, out of mind, right, on becoming memorable. But if I remember you because you knew what you were talking about, and after the open house, this is a super easy thing to do, and I know you're tired, I get it, I've done many open houses, I just want to go home and put my feet up, right? But before you do that, go through the list of people who attended and just shoot a quick video text. Hey, Leanne, it's Rita with Better Homes and Gardens. Sorry, Realty One Group. And it was great meeting you and Jeff today. I'm looking forward to learning all about your search process in Summerlin. Okay, now are you going to remember that guy and that girl, and you're going to become more memorable. So that's why they're interviewing you, and it's important for you to stick in their mind so that when you call them on Monday, they're like, oh yeah, it's Leanne. I remember her. Okay. Now, we might depart on this a little bit, and that's okay, because as siblings,
There's been a few times we haven't agreed.
We can agree and disagree, probably more times than not. But anyway, I mean, I don't know what you believe on this or not, but I know I've heard a lot of people teach to not go on a tour when people come into an open house. I disagree. This is the way I do it. This is the way Ben does it. And that is, when they come into my open house, I'm going to walk through and show them the things for a couple reasons. Number one is protecting the valuables in the house. But moreover than that is to get into a relationship with them and a conversation with them and start asking them questions so that you can be memorable. And when you call them on Monday or go to follow up, they'll be most likely to talk to you. You can find out some key information
Serena,
along the way.
this is going to be hard for you to believe.
No, we agree?
We agree.
Oh! Yeah, go on a tour with them and get to know them and ask them those questions.
Especially if it's an owner-occupied property.
Yes.
You want to make sure that here's a little story. Who Who's the guy, the actor from Friends that recently passed away?
Chandler Bing.
Yeah, so, you know, he wrote a book when he got clean
Yeah.
the first time. And in his book, he said that he used to go to open houses and go into the medicine cabinets and take the medicine.
I have a listing in Lehigh. You guys wouldn't mean anything to you guys, but it was a big city in Utah. And I had a couple of agents that I was coaching that went hog wild. They did a great job of marketing it, had a lot of bodies in there, and they just let people go through. And that exact thing happened. My clients' prescriptions were gone at the end of the open house. They had no way of knowing. They didn't have any sign-ins. They didn't follow a proven process.
Stash them, hide them,
Yeah.
any valuables.
Take
I showed a home one time
Take
where there was a wad of $100 bills sitting on the dresser.
No.
Crazy.
I,
Is that
imme-
your
I
tip?
immediately called the listing agent and say, hey, took a picture and sent it to him. This
Yeah.
is here. Yeah.
Crazy. So one of the things that I will say is a deal breaker and a non-negotiable is this. Know your scripts, okay, and identify who's who. Because that agent that I came in with my clients, this was a true story of what we demonstrated here. He didn't know if I was with the person as a couple, I was the mother, I was the cousin, I was the realtor. He didn't know because he didn't ask, right? So we want to know who's a buyer and who's a seller. Because will the conversation be different if you've got a buyer coming into that open house as opposed to a seller, right? You're going to ask different questions. So know your scripts to identify who are the looky-loos, who are the serious buyers, who are the nosy neighbors, aka sellers, and find out how they found out about your open house so you can find out where your ROI is. Because I do Facebook targeted ads, I do mailings, I do a lot of things. And when somebody comes in, I want to know how they found us. And it's a really, and we're going to role play this in a minute, it's a really easy way to get into a conversation with someone that's non-intimidating right from the get-go, okay? And this is the non-negotiable, get the sign-in every time. Guys, if you do not get people who come to your open house to sign in to capture their information, you're losing opportunities. Scott.
So we've done quite a few open houses, and
Yeah.
we know the open house is going to be busy.
Mm-hmm.
Round up your best friend, have them come help you for the walkthroughs.
Have a lender come for the
Lender,
walkthrough.
Yeah, have a lender.
Lender's a
Have
perfect
somebody
partner.
come.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have 5 agents, boots on the ground, because I'm doing a barbecue open house, and so I make sure that the coverage is there.
And you know
So-
that open house is going to be busy.
Yep, totally. So we're going to get the sign in every time. And does anyone here do that? Get the sign in, or is it hit and miss?
Attempt to anyway.
Does anybody use Spacio?
The broker, online portal to
Spacio?
sign in, yeah.
Spacio?
it before, but not lately.
I'm going to pull it up in a little bit and show it to you and
So Rena,
show
what do
you how
you
cool
do
it
if
is.
they won't sign it?
That what,
I've
sorry?
had people say that they don't want to sign it.
Oh, thank you. I could kiss you on the lips right now. I won't. But that leads into this. If somebody says they're not going to sign in, then the first thing I say is, oh, so you don't want to look at the house today? Well, yeah, I want to look at the house, but I'm not going to give you my contact information. And this is a script. And I would say to you, all you have to do is watch the evening news to know that people prey on this. In fact, somebody wrote a book recently saying that he used open houses as a way to case, places to get information and come back later and rob them or get that stuff right through the open house. I mean, after all, would you want a stranger walking through your bedroom?
No, I wouldn't, but.
That's what they say. That's what they say. Everyone says. I've never had someone not sign in. Once I just explained, this is the world we live in. It's sad. But all you have to do is watch the evening news to know that people prey on situations like this.
So,
what if they just sign their name, give you their name, and that's all? No phone number, no email.
Or give you wrong information.
So then you
Yeah.
go to white pages and look, come on.
I'm going to show you. So I told Mark I'm going to do the heavy lifting because we're going to role play this. I've got, we can hand these out later. I've got the scripts. There's 3 things. Actually, someone email me. John, I'm putting you to work. You're on this side of the room, so you guys can follow along. This is the 3 things I learned from Ben Kinney. I kind of tweaked them a little bit to my own personality. But this ensures you that you get the sign-in. And whether you use paper or you use technology, it doesn't matter. But Mark,
So remember, she just said she tweaked it to match her own personality. Scripts are important. There's so many agents, so many salespeople that say, I don't want to learn scripts. I don't want to sound canned. But here's the thing on the scripts. First, you need to memorize them. Then you need to internalize them. And then you personalize them. So it's still a script, but it doesn't sound like a script. It just sounds like conversation.
and I've said this so many times, you're going to be reading this and go, oh, she missed a word. Because, it's just, I'm just doing it naturally right now with Mark. Okay, so Mark, you're going to come to my open house. I'm the agent. Okay, we have a come on in sign at the door. And I'm not going to be the agent sitting on the open house. I'm actually going to make a forward motion to the door while you visit. Okay? Hi.
Hi.
No, you just come on in. Okay? Hey. I'm Rena with Realty One Group.
Hi, Rena.
Thank you for coming today.
Absolutely.
How'd you find our open house?
You got 20 signs out there, so I couldn't miss it.
Oh, that's awesome. Are you on your way somewhere right now?
No, I was just on the way, actually on my way to the grocery store to pick up
cool.
some beer.
Well, I'm going to give you a personal tour of the house.
Okay.
But before I do that, the sellers have required that all visitors sign in. So come over here with me. Oh, see what's happening?
He's following.
When you walk with confidence and you tell them the way it's done, and you notice my wording, the sellers have required that all visitors sign in. And once I started walking, he just followed me.
I had no choice.
Right? And if you're doing paper, okay, you control the pen. Okay, so we're going to go back into role play. Okay, so we come over here. Usually I have it in the kitchen or something. Okay, well, what's your name?
Mark.
Mark, how do you spell that, Mark?
With a K.
Oh, so the right way.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And your last name?
Otero.
Oh, terrible?
Oh, terrible.
Okay. Okay, I'm not going to, I didn't say, can I have your name? Can I have your email address?
You're assertive.
Not passive. Mm-hmm. You control what's happening next because the sellers have required you, right? Okay, so here's that. So we just covered the first one. How'd you find out about us? Mm-hmm. Found out the signs. Okay, signs work. Second, sellers have required all visitors sign in, whether you do it with technology or paper, it's okay, right? And then the third part of the script is, Mark, now I said his name, because why? People love to hear their name. So I say, Mark, I find that people come to open houses for one of two reasons. One, they're either thinking about buying a house, or they're curious about the value of their own house. Which one are you?
Actually thinking about buying.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well, let's give it a court. And now I know how long you've been thinking about buying. Are you looking at other areas? Are you all the buying questions? Easy? This is how you get the sign in every time. And I will tell you, and Scott will testify to this because we've worked a lot of open houses together, we walk away with sheets of filled out information that we can later follow up on drip and add to our database. So thank you, Mark.
Here's another script that I always do at open houses is when somebody first comes through, so which house in the neighborhood do you live in? Which house? Because you're going to find out. And you can ask them, so are you renting or are you an owner? Do you need to sell before you purchase? So it's all about asking questions. But which house in the neighborhood do you live in?
You know what's funny, Mark? Mm-hmm. And you all see this. Somebody puts a sign up in front of a house, and 3 or 4 weeks later, another sign goes up for another house.
Yeah.
So
it's very true. That person.
So this is in the high attrition neighborhoods that turn, 10% attrition, is that within 6 months, one more person will list their home. And 3 months after, 10 people are thinking and 6 people will actually sit down for a one-on-one appointment. So that's why They're interviewing you. Potential sellers, aka nosy neighbors, are watching how you play full out. And we're going to go into that in just a second. Can we go over?
Yeah.
Will you guys want to stay? We're gonna go over a little bit. We're good?
Yeah, we're good.
We're gonna get the word out. You got to create a buzz. Okay? We're gonna talk about some different ways to do that. Social media. That is your personal page, targeted ads. And can I just ask you guys to stop posting boring stuff on social media in relation to open houses? Don't say another open house. No. Post the really cool things about that house, something that's unique to the community. I had a guy that I was coaching several years ago, and he had the perfect personality for this. He goes, I want to do something different on social media. I'm like, well, dude, the house has a pool. That's not common in Utah. It is in Vegas, but there are very few homes with pools in Utah for obvious reasons. And I said, get dressed in your best suit and then go say something wild as you jump in the pool and post a video of that. He had like total engagement on that. So make sure that you're posting interesting stuff. I also had a buddy who lives in Maine. Maine is known for kind of rugged weather, right? And it was dead of winter, and he sent an e-invite out to 1,100 people in his database saying, hey, got hot cocoa and marshmallows, come hang out with me at this open house. And the day of the open house hit, and it was knee-deep snow. How many people do you think showed up? 45. 45 in knee-deep snow because he invited them to a personal invitation to come check out this house and come hang out and have cocoa and marshmallows and
So
yeah,
if you have 45 people in that kind of weather coming to your open house, do you think there's a few motivated buyers in there?
And worst case scenario, in your SOI, at least you had that opportunity to have a touch and a conversation with them. And they see you doing real estate, you get to talk about real estate, and so now when they think of, what's your name? Huh? Ricky. Ricky. I thought you said Wiki. I'm like, Wiki, what? When they think of Ricky, they think real estate. When they think real estate, they think Ricky. Okay, love your name. So put it on Craigslist Marketplace, all the places, and door knocking to preview the home. Who here loves to door knock the open houses that they host?
Nobody.
It's okay. She's like,
So, can I talk a little on that?
huh?
Can I talk a little bit on that?
Please.
So, we used to do door hangers specific to that house, picture of the house, day and time of when that open house was, and we used to do 200 of them.
You take 100, I take 100.
Whatever.
I took 150, he took 50.
No, I took 200 and she did not.
Oh, that's not true.
So, but anyway, we did them specific to that house, specific to that time, because we knew that we're spending money on these, so we're going to actually door knock the 200. 200 is a lot, and I don't expect you all to do 200, but 50 is doable. And in Utah, the lots are so big there that it takes a long time to knock on 200 doors. But sometimes we took some townhome listings, which we were able to knock out.
Oh, we can crack through these. Yes.
But so you typically start on Thursday, do some Friday, and sometimes even Saturday before the open house to get all the 200 done. And just because it's a door hanger doesn't mean you just hang it on the door and walk away. It's, I always tell agents, you're at the door. You might as well knock on the door or ring the doorbell and invite them to the open house.
So all you need is a good pair of shoes, right? And here's exactly thank you for this opportunity to say that neighbors are the easiest people to talk to.
Yep.
Everyone wants to know what's going on in the hood. right? So if I knock on your door and I'm selling you like, hey, you want to sign up for my pest control service? She's like, no. But if I go, hey, you know, one of your neighbors just listed their home. Oh, now you've got my attention, right? So invite them to the open house. In fact, you know what I do different is I have an hour preview time for neighbors only. So if my open house is from 10 to 2 or whatever, at 9 o'clock, I can invite the neighbors to come for a sneak peek. Okay? And find out if they know of anyone looking to buy. You know, it's a perfect time, perfect opportunity for you to choose your new neighbor, right? Another question is, do you know anyone who wants to sell? And let me help, because we're talking about scripts. I don't ever say, hey, do you know of anyone else who's thinking about selling? I just got a listing yesterday, and it's a $700,000 listing. It's going to be great because the whole family's going to be involved in this. But what I said to the next door neighbor to my listing is, hey, Mark, if you had to guess, who next in your neighborhood do you think would be moving? You had to guess. Because if I say, do you know of anyone? He's like, yeah, no. Yeah. But if you had to guess, then now they're going to stop and think. And the guy that I asked that question to was like, you know what, you should talk to Lee next door. He's moving to an assisted living, and he might be interested in selling.
Yeah, it's always asking open-ended questions, not that where they answer yes or no. It's open. I always like using, you know, who's the next person that you can think of that's looking to sell in the neighborhood? Who's the next person? And it's funny, when you ask who's the next person, they kind of look up and they go through their mental Rolodex and try and think of who the next person is.
Totally. So build rapport, and you can do that by saying, how long have you lived here? What do you love about the neighborhood?
Questions.
Okay, and ask those questions. What do you love about the neighborhood? How long you've lived here? Have you ever had thoughts of selling? And when somebody says, well, we thought about it, but we're not really sure. Whatever they say, unless they say, he says, nope, they're going to carry me out of here on a box. I'm going to live here until I die. But if they say, I'm thinking about it, the next logical question is, where would you move to if you did sell your house? And if they say, well, I love Summerlin and I'm tired of give me a city here, I don't know.
And then you could ask, you know, why are you interested in
Tell me more about that. How long have you been thinking about Summerlin? Do you have family in Summerlin? You go deep on that because that's what builds rapport, okay? And then the next logical question is this. I'll do it with you. So you think about Summerlin, well, when was the last time you had the equity evaluated in your current home?
Oh, I've never had it done.
Oh, wow. I think you'd be shocked by the numbers. You know what? I don't mind at all. I can do this. I'm going to be back in your neighborhood next Tuesday and Wednesday. I'll run the numbers and see if the numbers even work for you to move to Summerlin. Are you usually a morning, afternoon, or evening person?
I'm afternoon.
Okay, boom, lock down the appointment. This is how you do it, guys. You got to ask powerful questions. If you don't ask those questions, you're going to have a great conversation. Okay, thanks. Have a nice day. You're going to walk away with nothing. Okay,
so let me tell you a little bit more what I do here as far as, you know, the script. So it's for me, it's a two-part. So the first part is I'm inviting them to the open house.
Yes.
And letting them know about the open house. The second part is I want to see if they want to sell. So it's kind of like at the end of the invite to the open house, well, thank you so much and if you know of anybody, you know, bring them by on Saturday. And it's almost an afterthought. Oh, by the way, when do you plan on moving? The reason why it's like that is kind of like
the Columbo close.
Columbo. So who knows Columbo?
We're that old.
So Columbo, disheveled detective back in the 70s, and he would be asking questions of his main suspect, who he knows is guilty. Yeah, and he's just lobbing softballs and okay, thank you very much. Oh, by the way, and then he hits them with the hard question because most people cannot spontaneously lie. You know, so they're gonna stumble over their words. So when you, oh, by the way, when do you plan on selling?
Oh, well, we're not really sure.
Kind of sounds like you thought of it.
We have a little bit.
Rena, if you were to move, where would you go?
Oh, I would move to Summerlin.
Summerlin. I love Summerlin.
My brother lives in Summerlin. So,
And then just ask more questions.
and going back just a second to the sign-in, what Mark just said is true. Most people will not lie when you're asking them questions. But if they're signing in their information, you know how many times when I was new and inexperienced and didn't know better, I would get Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck. Wait, what the heck? These people lie to me. It won't happen when you say, what's your name? They can't think fast enough to conjure up Bill Smith.
And that's a problem about having a paper sign in, is because people see Mickey Mouse, I'm gonna write Donald Duck.
Yeah.
You know?
And you control the pen. If you are paper, it's okay. I love technology, but paper has never failed. Okay? So if you control the pen, I know, it's okay. I've done it
This
both
is
ways.
one thing that we've always disagreed on.
Yeah, and that's okay, because there's no right or wrong way.
Right.
But if
Well,
you
my way's
do,
my way.
wait a second. If you, and I'm saying this because Mark and I held an open house in Sandy, and we used technology, and what happened, Mark? It went poof, gone. We got all these people to come in,
It
and
was
we had
operator
nothing.
error.
It was,
Mark was the operator.
and
I probably was.
And if you do paper, you control the pen because you can read your own handwriting. Because he might write like a doctor, but I can't read anything. Can't like, is a number, is a 9, is it, what is this, right?
M-A-R-K. I can read that.
Yes, that's true. Okay, so has anyone ever heard Mark, or is it just me who he says this to? Oh, but wait, there's more.
So he says it to all of us.
Sign strategy. I want to share a story. I live on an acre lot in Utah, and it's a corner lot, and everybody loves to put signs on my front yard. And whatever it is, even like other open houses from other realtors, I'm like, how rude, right? Over the years, nobody's ever said, hey, can I put a sign in your yard? But one day, it's pouring rain, it's in the early evening, and I'm sitting down in my house, and I hear, and I go to the door, and there's a guy there drenched, and he's holding a sign, and he says, hey, I just want to stop by and ask permission to put a sign in your yard. And I was like,
Was it an open house sign?
no. It was a political sign. I didn't even care what the party was then, because I'm like, I thought it was so respectful, right? And it was like this light bulb moment. How many times did we just put the sign for the open house and go to the next house and go to the next house, and we're putting signs and balloons, and I've never asked the people, hey, is this okay? So I started this sign strategy with my own business and my team, and that creates energy in the neighborhood, and it is a deal breaker on my team. They got to do 20 signs. 20 signs minimum with a balloon, because remember, we are being interviewed by the nosy neighbors, aka sellers, and they're seeing these 20 signs, and people that are on their way to go grocery shopping see the 20 signs, and you're creating this energy in the neighborhood, right? But let me hold that thought, because here's what you do. When you knock on those 20 people's doors, there's this, what we're talking about, Ben Kinney, focus and purpose. I want to get, because I made a guarantee that if no one shows up, you can get 10 people, 5 to 10 people in your database, right? So I'm going to knock on your door, and here's a script. And if you want these scripts, I'm going to have a slide up there that you can email me to get them. And I'm going to say, hi, I'm Rena with Realty One Group, and I'm just stopping by today because your neighbors just listed their house, and I'm helping them do an open house today. And so I'm just stopping by today to ask permission to put a sign in your yard for a couple of hours. Is that okay? Absolutely. Okay, so most people, there are some butt heads in the world, so, you know. But most people, would you be willing to help your neighbor to put a sign? Yes, we want to help our neighbors, and we're asking permission, and so we're being seen as respectful. And then I'm going to say, as a thank you to allowing us to put the sign in your yard, we're doing a small drawing, and we only have 20 signs. So chances that you might be one of the winners is high. And so let me just get your contact information. I already have their address. And all I need is your phone number and name to enter you in the drawing to win. And I walk away with 20 new people in my database. Name, address, phone number, email address. There's no holes to plug in my database. Because guess what? Everyone wants to win the drawing. And then I had an aha moment after I'd done this for a few months, and I thought, well, wait a minute, why can't everyone be a winner? So let's say he won the drawing, but I knocked on all these doors, and to come back and say, hey, Ricky, I just want to stop by. We had a great success at the open house. I just want to thank you again for letting me put the sign in your yard. Your neighbor, Jeff, actually won the gift card, but I just wanted to, again, stop by and thank you. And I just have a little something. I get those cellophane bags. You could buy them from Uline or Amazon or anything in bulk. They're super cheap. Put some candy in there, staple my business card, and give it to her. So again, I'm trying to create that being memorable with the people that I just knocked randomly. She was just, getting ready to go for a pedi, and I come to her door asking to put a sign in the yard.
So one time when I knocked on a door to get sign permission, and had a nice, short conversation with the guy who was asking me about the house and when the open house is, and so I told him and went to do the open house, and the open house, it was like 1 to 4 or something like that. At just about 5 minutes till the open house was closing, he shows up. And he, of course, I remembered him, and he says, Mark, I see that you're a hard-working agent, and I need to sell my house, and I want you to sell it, just like that. So it's all about, getting face-to-face and talking to people, building relationships.
Absolutely. So again, with preparation, you can just do a screenshot of this quickly. These are the things that I bring to an open house. Trust me on the toilet paper. Yes. You want that, okay?
Get a coat and put the stuff in so you're not scrambling for it before every single open house.
Exactly. A tub, and it's in my garage or storage unit, and I just take it out, put it in my car for that. Everything's in there. The come on in signs, the paper, sign-in sheets with the clipboard and pens. But because every once in a while technology won't work, right? Would you agree with that, Mark?
Yes.
Anyway, there's no sibling rivalry here at all.
Raina, what kind of giveaway are you doing?
So, great question. Sometimes I do a kneaders basket. Do y'all have kneaders here? Yeah. It's like a bread place, yeah. But most often I do a gift card. Why? People love gift cards, right? You might be gluten free, and I'm giving you this big bread basket, and you're like, thanks, right? But nobody ever will say, I hate gift cards. Everyone hates to give them, but everyone loves to get them. So
you buy a gas gift card now when gas is $4.50, and you know what? A week from now, it's worth $5.
So I always do this in open house as I go back and share results. Because I knocked that neighborhood, and I knocked with a door hanger, and I'm going to go back and just say, gosh, we had a lot of people through the open house. We had 10 people come through, and we're actually going under contract on your neighbor's home, and that's great news for Bob and Betty, but we have a problem. We still have 9 buyers that missed out on an opportunity to buy in your neighborhood. So I'm just stopping by once more to just see, have you ever had thoughts of selling, or who do you know in the neighborhood who might be selling? So you hit that neighborhood hard, and we have a rule on our team that you talk to every single person in the neighborhood before you move on. Because I might door knock all these doors, but she is thinking about selling, and she's not home when I knock. You need to go back. That's what professional door knockers do.
Yeah, here's another strategy on door knocking. Oftentimes, we just door knock the community where the property is, but sometimes I did, so maybe the house that I'm doing the open house is an $800,000 home, but real close by, there's a bunch of $300,000 and $400,000 homes. So I might knock on those to see if I can find any move-up buyers, or the other way around, to see if I have a $300,000 listing. I might knock the $800,000 community, see if I can find any investors for the $300,000 homes.
Totally. We're talking about being strategic and having some purpose. If you guys want a 7-day checklist, it's 7 days before open house and 1 day after. There's my email address. I'll also throw in some scripts for you that I use to use with sellers and buyers. And finally, some case studies.
Can you go back?
Thank you. Stay out of the way, Mark. So, Mark mentioned the door hangers. I love door hangers. I'm thinking about a couple of, you guys done? Everyone get it? Of case studies. So I started to toy with the idea of doing a midweek open house. And it happened to be in the wintertime in Utah. Like, the weather is hit and miss. In fact, there's a saying in Utah that if you don't like the weather, wait an hour. Okay? Because it could be blizzardy 1 minute and then sun shining the next. So midweek in this 55 plus community, I knocked it that week. I mailed it. I did all the stuff. I deployed the plan, using the proven process, and I get there with my plate of cookies and my waters, and I'm ready, and nobody came until the very end. And this little old guy, like I said, it's 58 plus community, and he had my door hanger in his hand like this. And he walks in, he goes, "Hey, can you sell my house?" And I'm like, "Sure, have a cookie." And I listed his house.
Yeah, have the whole plan.
I listed his house, and I got another listing and got his family, because he was elderly, in my database, who I continue to drip this day. Okay? Another one.
Just remember this, business gets business.
Yes, absolutely. Another one, this was a neighborhood in Draper, and I listed a 1.5, this was in 2020, I had $1.5 million listing, 2 doors down, 1.8, she called me. We knocked it, we did open house, big open house, door hangers, the whole shebang, right? And I go to her house for the listing appointment. I've never met her before. She wasn't home when, we never talked to her. But she had, pretend like this is a postcard, she had the postcard and the door hanger, and she greeted me at the door. She said, "I want this." Great, sign here, okay? And then the people around the corner, 1.4. So I got a 1.5, a 1.8, a 1.4 using this system, guys. Another time in Provo, I was representing seller, sold the house for the sellers, and open house met someone and sold that house. That was less than 1%, didn't apply. Sold that house, that was 2. Then somebody else came to the open house. They didn't like that house at all. They hated it. But I sold their townhome and then sold them a house. There's 4. And then I sold that house, and then she referred me to her mother. 6 transactions from one open house. It was over 80 grand in commissions for just like a Saturday afternoon of work. Okay. The funny thing about the funny part of the story, going back to the 1.5, 1.8, 1.4 neighborhood, the really funny part of this story is that a neighbor, it was a little cul-de-sac where these homes were, a neighbor was a realtor. Oh.
Wasn't she a mortgage broker?
Huh?
Wasn't she a mortgage broker?
The 1.8 was a mortgage broker.
Yeah.
But so she had access to all these realtors. Thank you for reminding me that. what's the takeaway from that, you guys? The neighbor's a realtor.
She wasn't doing anything.
Huh?
That or she didn't want to work with her.
It was a he, and he swore at us when we came knocking, and we were like, "Hey, team, don't go to that house because that's okay." But he wasn't doing his job. If you're a secret agent and nobody knows you're a realtor and you're not touching and dripping on your own neighbors, shame on you, right? There's lots of other case studies that I could tell you, but I hope you get the point. That Draper neighborhood was 4.7 mil, by the way, and a lot of commission in my pocket by just following some simple steps. And I want to tell you, and like kind of like lead with this last point. And I told Mark I was going to share this last night. I hate open houses. Hey, what? Why is she up here? Why did he do this to us? If you want to torture me, tell me to go sit at this open house and wait for people to come. Man, I will, that is not, I like to be moving, I like to be busy, I like to be talking to people. I hate open houses where there's no yield. And so I do whatever I can in my power to get bodies in the door. And when I go to an open house, in between time, pretending like this is a phone, I'm not surfing and scrolling Instagram. I've got thank you cards. I've got things I'm working on to build my business because I don't like to wait for anything. Everyone that knows me well knows I'm a super impatient person. And so I love open houses when I work the system.
It is your office for that period of time. So make good, here's the thing regarding that. If you bring work to do, hopefully you won't have time to do that work.
Exactly.
But if you don't bring anything to do and you have nobody come through your open house, then you're bored for those 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever it is. Bring work to do.
It's not relaxing to relax in somebody else's house. So I bring thank you cards so that every visitor, they have a handwritten thank you card. I now have their address, right? Because you did the sign in right. And I bring stamps and envelopes. So when I drive home, I just plop them in the mail so that they're gone. And when I call her on Monday, Tuesday to follow up, she's got my video text. She's got a thank you card in the mail. Thank you for visiting our open house. Looking forward to get, et cetera. And that's what brings results, and that's all I have today.
So real quick, I mentioned Spacio. So Spacio is in the one zone, in your one login, and it's an app that you're going to put on your laptop or your tablet, and people are going to sign in, name, email address, phone number, into Spacio. Once they do that, everyone that signs in, at the end of your open house, it automatically emails them. It's all about systematizing, have systems. And the email is purely, it's customizable. You can make it say whatever you want, but what they have in there is pretty darn good. So this is the email. It says, Mark, thank you for taking time to attend the open house at 10960 Garden Oak Avenue on March 25th, 2026. If you have any remaining questions regarding this property or any other property, please feel free to contact me at your phone number, your email address. It puts a picture of the property in there. Puts all the information, including the remarks in there. And it goes on, if this particular property did not meet your criteria, we can find you the others. So it's a really, really cool system.
So you're getting another touch out of that.
Yes.
Yes.
Quick question.
Yes.
This has been so amazing. Thank you so much. I have a quick question. So here in Vegas, we're homestead a little bit longer. So do you recommend, do you do the same open house for an extended period of time, like maybe 4 weeks? Or what's that process?
I'll host an open house anytime anyone will let me.
Yeah.
So the thing is that the nosy neighbor, sorry to pick on you, Ricky, she might be out of town. She might be sick. She might be busy. And so when you host it week 2, she might come in, you're going to pick up that opportunity. So if you guys have heard me train before, one of my favorite sayings is information, without implementation is worthless. So we're gonna start here and just say one aha from today and what you're gonna do as a result, and in the interest of time, just in one sentence. One aha from today.
I would say the 20 signs.
The 20 signs.
But with the balloons, like how many balloons,
Yeah.
positioning them, where, how far.
You map
I
them out.
need to the T.
You
The
map
more
them out.
signs, the better.
I'll check with
So there is a NAR study years ago that said the number of signs that you have out is in direct correlation to the number of people that you have in your open house. So if you have 5 signs, right, you're gonna have roughly 5 people. If you have 20 signs, yeah.
Okay, so 20 signs, what are you gonna do as a result? One action item. What are you gonna do?
Follow up.
Follow up. Ricky, one aha and one action item.
I was just gonna say the follow-up.
Okay, so your aha was follow up, and then you're gonna do follow up. Okay? And your title. Okay.
I can still say that from a home warranty side that I like that you ask them their information and you control that you're putting it in. I mean, if it's digital, that's, a little
But
bit
you can still do it digitally.
Right,
With your name.
absolutely. But I like controlling that.
Control the conversation.
Yep. I think that it's less likely for people to not try.
Thank you. Do you have an aha and action?
It's the same thing as 20 signs with balloons.
20 signs, and so what are you gonna do as a result?
I'm gonna order some.
Okay, so you're gonna order, you guys hear this?
Yeah.
She said she's gonna order signs because she doesn't have 20.
So
you don't get ready after the opportunity comes. You get ready before the opportunity comes, so when that opportunity comes, you're ready.
So
Right?
balloons are a pain in the ass.
Yes, they are.
They really are. But they have those fake balloons that you see at car dealerships, and I think I have the site somewhere where you can buy those, or pinwheels. You can go on to
Take those
Amazon
to your sign.
and use a binder clip and clip them to your sign.
Or
That works too.
my son, when I started real estate, was like 10 years old or something. Scott would take our son. We gave him a job in our corporation, and he was the director of balloons. So if you have a kid or a neighbor kid or a cousin or something like that that's young that needs a little bit of money, I just leverage that out because they are a pain in the ass. I hate them. Okay.
She makes me do them all, just so you know.
Aha and action item.
I was thinking the same thing with the signs, because I don't normally do 20.
Okay.
10, but
You're gonna up your game. If you're gonna work on Saturday anyway, you might as well play full out, right?
Oh, so for me, it's like, could stand up and because I'm like you, I gotta be doing something all the time. And yeah, so that's but so this actually got me motivated to want to do this. I want to do signs without I have none, but I always love raffling. I love and I like raffling. I like raffling all stuff. So that's a big deal for me. But I also have a selfie booth where I can have it ask questions for people, so I can even set that up. So I was like, I'm thinking.
Love it.
So I have surveys and I can just get all their info right there. So yeah.
That's awesome. Aha or action item right here coming your way.
Yes, I like the conversation between you and Mark, like when somebody enters, what you have to say, and all the idea that you give. I like it.
Awesome. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, guys. So know your scripts, get your kit ready, and be ready for that opportunity to come in. Yes.
I'm the same as her. I like how you just take their name instead of having sign, because that's what I used to do, and most of my information was fake or incorrect, or I wouldn't be able to read it.
A lot of Mickey Mouses and Donald Ducks. Yep.
Jeff.
Seller is required you to sign it. I like that.
Seller is not required you to sign. Like you could wake me up at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, Rena, what's the open house script? And I'll say it with my eyes closed. If you know the scripts, you can't fail. Yeah.
The signs and asking permission from the homeowners.
Mhm.
Awesome. And getting their contact information. So what are you going to do as a result?
I am
Just knowing it is my part.
I'm going to knock on the doors of the place where the sign ask for permission. Not very much. And things like that.
To follow proven process right here. Sure.
getting information by door knocking, even if nobody shows up to the
Right.
to the open house, is a proactive way to get the information to grow the database.
That's how you win in real estate. So when's your next open house?
I don't know yet.
I was just gonna ask that of the whole group.
Well, that's why I
Yeah.
need the sign. I only have 10 and then the 10 flags. And then I haven't done it open house in so long, but I was literally just gonna do it, for
Good.
my new listing, so, and it's 1.2.
Yay!
I
Awesome.
would need to,
Yeah, make it big.
Get out there, get
I
another
need
one
like
next
10
door.
of them.
You can also make open houses a big event.
I want
You can
to.
bring in a taco truck or ice cream truck or, make it a huge event.
Yes,
Pilates,
absolutely.
we're gonna have Pilates, because the neighborhood, it's all the girls that does Pilates and yoga, which is my jam, so.
Awesome. An action item.
Come on, pay attention, Jacques.
No,
Keep up.
I do, ironically. No, the signs.
Okay, the
I need
signs.
to, because the new rule is from the office, we get 5, so I don't think it's enough, so I need to get 5.
Yep, you need to invest in your business.
Yes, I do. And I was thinking about, I don't know if you agree with me, and I love the black and gold for the company, but I would think they're very catchy in the streets, actually. So I'm thinking about getting more like in the blue or a better color.
Okay, respectfully, I don't agree with you.
Okay, no, it's fine.
And I actually peeped on Mark's slides from when he teaches open house, and I saw the Realty One open house signs. I think they're beautiful, they're classy, and I think they do stand out. But add that movement of a balloon or a pinwheel or something, and that will be the difference.
When you go to a store, they last 1 hour and they're full day.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, it's just mastering the scripts. So like my process is not as smooth, and so I really just gotta practice and work on that.
Okay, so how often?
What?
How often?
Oh, to practice?
Yes.
Every lunchtime.
Okay.
Set my reminder.
Did you hear that, Mark?
Yeah. Well, Lasana is not even with us yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she's she's going to be our newest agent.
That's awesome. So, guys, when we commit to something, we don't just say it in the class. We say we're going to do it, and we have a when we're going to do it. I think you're the last one in.
I like the idea of asking the question, opportunity to ask if they know that wants to go.
Awesome.
Thank you all for showing and sticking around till 11. Remember, no matter how you slice it, greatness is a choice. Let's go out and be great open house agents.